Meet our team: Eliza K. Siroma, Jaisel Legaspi, Jerly Quinones, Franz Jovan Artica, April Joy Hipolito.
The levels of schooling as a teaching milieu. In all the countries in the ASEAN, the levels of formal schooling in the educational system are as follows. Number 1. Primary level. The first stage traditionally found in formal education, beginning at about age 5 to 7 and ending at about age 11 to 3. Despite the many cultural and political differences among nations, the objective and curriculum, at least of elementary education, tend to be similar. Nearly all nations are officially committed to mass education, which is viewed as eventually including a full elementary education for all. An increasing agreement may therefore be found among nations to the effect that preparation for citizenship is one of the major objectives of elementary education. In terms of curriculum, this objective suggests an emphasis on reading and writing skills, arithmetic skills, and basic social studies and science. Number 2. Secondary level. It is composed of the junior high school and senior high school. The graduate from the senior high school can process to college or find a job appropriate to the qualification. The basis education levels of elementary, primary, and the secondary levels will provide the future jobs of teacher education pre-service graduates. Number 3. Tertiary level is the college level, which is beyond the basic education in all the countries in the ASEAN. It is the ladder of educational system where the student earns a bachelor degree in teacher education, which is a requirement to take a licensure examination to become a professional teacher. The pre-service teacher gets appropriate qualification degree in the tertiary level in order to teach in either the elementary or secondary levels of the education system in either the public or private school in a particular country. In addition to the degree, most countries have specific recruitment policies and guidelines. That's all. Thank you.
5. Today I will discuss my topic all about academic preparation of teacher profession in basic education. The term teacher preparation program means a state-approved course of study, the completion of which signifies that the enrollee has met all the state educational or training requirements for essential certification or licensure to teach in the state elementary or secondary school. Basic education levels. The most Asian countries have 12 years of formal schooling divided into primary, lower secondary, and upper secondary level. All primary education levels are compulsory, while in some countries the secondary level is voluntary except Philippines. In Singapore, the last 2 years level are pre-university level. Tertiary level is the in this college level, which is beyond the basic education in all the countries in the Asian. Where there are the four components of teacher preparation. The first is general knowledge and understanding, general education, and liberal education. What to know about oneself and world. For me, teacher conceptualized understanding and knowledge is critically important at any level. They develop the flexibility for spotting opportunities that they can use for moving student understanding forward. When teachers use their knowledge to enhance student learning, they are in gaining in effective practice. The second is pedagogy. Provides variety of teaching delivery approaches beyond traditional methods of teaching. pedagogical theories and principles how to teach. In this pedagogical core and context, the teacher's main roles in to promote student learning. The teacher needs to be capable in terms of the content and student learners. To, to able to organize lesson, facilitate in interaction, and solve challenges in the classroom. Third is curriculum experiential learning, student-centered approaches, cooperative learning, project-based learning based on international value to enhance peace education, sustainable development, respect for diversity, inclusive education, and global citizenship. For me, experiential learning is the engaged learning process whereby students learn by doing and by reflecting on the experiences. Experiential learning activities can include but are not limited to hands-on laboratory experiment, internship, practicum, field exercises, study abroad, undergraduate research, and studio performance. Goal plans supervise and assess experiential learning programs can stimulate academic inquiry by promoting interdisciplinary learning, civil engagement, career development, cultural awareness, leadership, and other professional and intellectual skills. The fourth is specialized knowledge major course. Includes a range of factual, theoretical, and practical knowledge as well as competencies and skill in a particular discipline or profession.
Teaching profession practices in the ASEAN. Number 1. Teachers' major responsibilities. There are 3 major responsibilities of professional teachers across the different countries, and these are actual teaching, management of learning, and administrative work. So, what is actual teaching? Actual teaching refers to the mind of engagement of the teacher with the learners. This happens within the official teaching hours. The actual teaching hours vary from country to country and from school to school. Sometimes actual teaching refers to contract time or time on task. Actual teaching, a teacher is capable in a basis of regular program. Next is management of learning. Refers to activities that support the actual teaching. This can be beyond actual teaching time like remediation or enhancement, homework, or co-curricular activities. So the management of learning in an organization ensures a knowledgeable workforce and helps prepare students for industry changes, from orientation, training for students to ongoing skill improvements. Managing the learning process of its students increases the ability of your school or classroom to meet objectives and increase positivity. Effective learning management creates a learning organization that organically increases student knowledge. Teachers are responsible for maintaining a positive learning environment in the classroom by giving every student a management of learning. Lastly is administrative work. Refers to the teacher's job that include writing test items, checking and recording of test paper results, attending to parents, making reports, and other related activities. Administrative work are tasks and duties that help and serves as a map route to maintain the office work efficient and effective. Teacher licensing and recruitment. Most teachers are licensed as professionals or are certified to teach by the country's appropriate agencies. Those who are not certified or licensed become paraprofessional or assistant teacher. In the Philippines, it is the Professional Regulation Commission or PRC, while in Singapore, it is the National Institute for Education or NIE. In Thailand, it is the Teachers Education Council that gives a licensure test for teacher applicants, while in Indonesia, ACTA 4 license is given by the Teacher College for an authority to teach. In other countries where no licensing is provided, certification is issued instead. This is done by the Ministry of Education or the teacher education colleges or universities. Teachers' recruitment process and qualifications are guided by the Ministry of Education for the public schools and the individual private schools under the guidance and policies of each country's ministry.
I am tasked to discuss to you the two countries under the teacher and the teaching profession beyond the ASEAN. And the first country is China. China is being the most populous country, has over 2 million students attending public schools taught by over 9 million teachers in the elementary, junior, and high school. Teachers in China from the largest teaching force in the world. The education system is highly centralized such that course syllabi are written by scientists and professors hired by the National Educational Commission, and the subject matter and instructional contents are uniform for all. And the first 6 years of school make up the primary grades, which are devoted to develop of cognitive skills, and this is followed by another 6 years of high school. Class size ranges from 40 to 60 students, and the students have to cover all topics in order to pass national examination. In the information that I read, it can be seen here that China is one of the Asian countries that has a wonderful educational system. The standard and the quality of their education is very high because their learning materials from primary to universities are written by scientists and professors hired by their government, and the subject matter and instructional content are uniform for all so that no students are left behind. And there's no question that China has a globally competitive and productive graduates. Because of their educational system, the management of China and their students and the full support of government and every teacher are some reason why China is a progressing country. The second country is Japan. The Japanese education system is highly centralized and administered by the Momboshu or Ministry of Education. The school system from kindergarten through university serves about 24 million students, with about 10% going to the university, about 1/3 go to private schools, and the rest are enrolled in public school system. The Japanese educational system is sometimes seen as a model on how to operate schools. The system gives us a mental picture of obedient, quiet school's children sitting on their desk, listening to the teacher and working hard to pass the various entrance examination. And in Japan, education is free and compulsory for children from 6 to 15 years. Classes are large and teaching methods are usually lectures. Japan's standard curriculum includes Japanese language, social studies, and math, science along with art, music, and home economics, physical education, with the greatest emphasis on learning the Japanese language. We know that Japan is disciplined country and their educational system has a big part of that. We read that Japanese education system is sometimes seen as a model of how to operate schools, and their system gives a mental picture of obedience. We can see here not only the good management, authority, and system that they implemented in their schools, but also their culture and nationalism to balance their progress. Because people sometimes neglect their culture because of progress. We know that Japan is a progressive country right now. And even though they have 24 million students compared to China that has 200 million, that's why it's not about numbers, but about the system and management.
Now we are about to tackle the teaching profession in Japan. Japanese teachers are an essential element in the success story of the country. Major responsibilities are entrusted upon the teachers for moral education and character development and for instilling values, attitude, and living habits in students all the levels. Teachers are expected to infuse cultural values throughout school activities, including students' lives, both in school or even at home and community. Teaching is one of the few lifetime profession career opportunity readily available to women in Japan. 19% of the new teachers have four-year college degrees, with most having majored in other areas than education. They fill up one-third openings in the elementary level, two-thirds at the lower secondary level, and nearly 19 at the upper secondary level. Next is teacher certification in Japan. First class certificate is issued to teach in the preschool, elementary, or secondary teachers with basic qualification of having earned a bachelor's degree, to teach in the upper secondary level the basic qualification in a master's degree. Secondary class certificate has a basic qualification of 2 years of study in the university or the post-secondary institution, while they teach in the secondary level without a master's degree. The second class certificate will be issued. In addition to the length of the study and degree qualification, prospective teachers must earn a prescribed number of credits in education, studies, and in subject to be taught. Becoming employed as a teacher. Most of the public teachers are prefectural employees even if they teach in municipal schools. Prefectures plays an important role in the selection and hiring of teachers. In addition to completing a degree, the teacher applicant must secure a license to teach from the Prefectural Board of Education. A license awarded by any prefecture invalid all prefectures. However, applicant is required to take prefecture appointment examination. The next country that we will tackle is United States of America. The American educational system has greatly influenced the Philippines educational system, specifically the making of Filipino teacher. The coming of the first American teachers called the Thomasites and the opening of the normal schools in different provinces of the country provided a strong foundation of teacher education. Becoming a professional teacher in the USA. Pre-service students who are preparing to teach in any of the above grade levels have to attend a college or a university for 4 years. major, or minor education and earn a teaching certificate. It is possible to earn a teaching degree after graduation by taking additional courses, post-baccalaureate, or entering a Master of Arts in Teaching program. Earning teaching certificate. United States of America has a decentralized educational system, and each state agency has its own guidelines and requirements for earning and maintaining a teaching certificate. Next is recruitment of teachers. After the following, the successful completion of an application process, a superintendent approves the applicant and then forward a recommendation to hire the local school board. Once signed, a teacher has legally binding contract to work unless guilty of crime, fails to show teaching competency, and demonstrate egregious profession conduct. He or she is expected to compete teaching during the term of his or her contract with exception for pregnancy, medical leaves, and unforeseen emergencies. Last is salaries of teachers. The salary range for teachers is determined by education and experience as by locale. Teachers who have earned a master's plus 30 doctorate units earn more than those with master's degree, while teachers with master's degree while with master's teacher's degree receive a higher salary than the bachelor degree holder. And last is, what makes a good American teacher? The definition of a good teacher slightly differs among levels. Those working in elementary school seems more child-focused in their discussion and believe that good teacher is a kind person, one who is understanding and sensitive to the needs of a children.